What up, you guys? I'm doing the live stream again, and this time is going to be about the south central area of Austin, anywhere between south of the river and north of Menchaca. We're going to look at the Zilker and the surrounding properties and see what does the data tell us. So let's start with the intro and go to the slide deck. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Yochanan. I'm a computer engineer and a licensed realtor. And in this show, I'm trying to go over the raw data and area by area in Austin and try to understand what is going on. What are the trends? What does the data tell us? I had a communication today with a client of mine, and she told me that she never heard a realtor saying the prices are going down or up. And I'm saying, and I want to make sure that this is clear. This is just the raw data that I'm displaying. It's not my opinion. It's just everything that there is in the area. So what we're seeing today is south of the river, as I mentioned, the south central area, Zilker, Barton Hills, Bouldin Creeks, Traver Heights, and some other areas as well. And what do we see with the trends? So we're seeing more deals, about 57 deals in April compared to February. And even though it's kind of the end of May, April sounds a bit late, but we're doing it because like in May, I review all the data from April, but 2 days from now, I'll start reviewing data for May as well. So stay tuned for that. We do see an increase in deals. So in January and December, like when it was peak cold season, we've seen like 30 deals per month. Now we are about 60. So almost double, and we're seeing the volume increase as well. I think this one is a bit more interesting to see what is the median sales price in the days on market. And we've seen a big increase in the days on market during the peak cold season, and then a reduction. But in March and April, I'm still seeing 30 and 34 days on market in median, meaning that this market is not as hot compared to the central area of Austin, the northern suburbs, the west area. These areas were more active in nature. 30 days on the market tells me that subject properties can stay on the market even for 2 months or 3 months at a time. And this isn't really a hot market. So look for more deals and try to be a bit more aggressive when you approach properties in this area of the south central. And what are we seeing with regards to the price per square feet? So since November, we have seen a decrease in prices. This is kind of counterintuitive. We've seen in other areas that the bottoming of the market was around January and February, and an increase since then. But in the south central area, we've seen the market bottoming out around March. And then since March, we did see an increase. 536 to 501 is 536. So about 6% increase between these months, but it's too low of a time frame. So when I go into the tool after the presentation, I would like to see what happens during the course of the last year. Where are we compared to the peak market? I think this is a bit more interesting. With regards to delusional sellers, so we did see them, and this is true for pretty much every market, but around December, they were like at peak delusion, meaning that the original listing price compared to the final close price was about almost like $100,000 of a difference. And then the latest listing price compared to the actual close price was about $40,000 of difference, still quite large, 4% difference. Now it is becoming closer to their asking price. So median 2% under list. That's where we are seeing this. And we're seeing 24 compared to original, 20 compared to the final price. So if those of you, like for those of you who are not familiar with this metric, what I'm showing here is what they originally asked for the property, what they finally asked for the property, and what it actually closed for. And we're seeing that right now it's kind of similar. The main difference is pretty much $20,000 under list. So when you are engaging in this area, try to beat the metrics. Try to approach it with some aggressiveness, and you can offer 20, 30, even 40 grand less than asking, but just make sure that you understand that every deal varies from one another. So always calculate what is the actual market value of the property today and try to get it for lower. What are the takeaways? So the prices decreased over the past 6 months, not like the rest of the area. So we're seeing more decreases in this area. April to March, we're seeing a slight increase. I would like to see what's going on in May. I'm very curious to see this area in May. The days on market, they have decreased, but they're not super low. So it is still quite a buyer's market from what I can tell in the South Central. What about sales data? So what is the type of inventory that we're seeing there? So we are seeing that the type of inventory that is sold with regards to price points, many properties, like we're seeing kind of a balance, between less than 500K up until more than $1.5 million. It's pretty much evenly distributed, and I'm seeing a peak for these cheaper properties, but these are the condos. So when we review the actual data in the spreadsheet, I can show you SFRs compared to condos, and we can see how does the price vary between them. I think it would be interesting to see. Price by size group, check out the big difference. This is huge. So for more than 2,800 square feet, we're seeing more than $2.5 million. And for about 2,000 square feet, we're seeing 800, almost $900,000. So you can see the big difference. And that is because of Zilker. We're seeing, and also if in the O4 area, we're also seeing like more expensive properties after the renovation. So bear in mind, you have a big variety of prices. And if you're looking for a smaller condos, I think this is one of the better areas to look for, because you have these other bigger properties that are driving the market up, making it a bit more luxurious in nature. And you can still get a fairly moderately priced property while still having some proximity to downtown. So I like this for condos. For primary residences, I like it if you have the budget. It's not a cheap market. And when we'll see the years built, and you'll see most of them are kind of old. With regards to the typical size that we're seeing in the South Central area, most of the properties are between 800 to 2,000 square feet. So these are kind of the smaller properties compared to the typical Austin house. When you go to these larger houses, so check this out, like more than 2,800 square feet in the South Central area is considered to be large. In the rest of Austin, that's not really the case. 2,800 square feet is considered to be kind of medium. So bear in mind, when you're going into these areas, we're going to see a smaller home. Size and bedrooms are kind of correlated. We're seeing 2 and 3 bedrooms are the majority of the deals that we're seeing in this area. And this is, I found this really interesting. So you see here the price per square feet when you are divvying it up by the lot size. And check this out. If the lot is larger, we're seeing way smaller of a price per square feet. I find it really interesting. And I think that is because these are the properties that people are buying and tearing down. So I think these larger acreage lots are more of the older properties, while those that are under a quarter of an acre are typically the newer builds, and this is why you see the big gap here. And we can verify this when we go to the spreadsheet in a moment. Almost less, there's the pools in the years. So pools, if you are trying to buy a property with a pool, 12 properties in April compared to 45 without a pool, 10 compared to 40 in March. So we're seeing something, I think it's like 20% of the properties have pools. So not a super small amount, but we do see a price difference, about $100 more for properties with pools. And it makes sense, it's the more luxurious properties typically. Year built, check this out. A lot of properties that were built before 1978, and then a lot that were built post the 2000s. So that's kind of the differentiation we're seeing here. Nothing really between 78 up until 2000. These are kind of like, it's pretty much dead here. We barely see anything. But very old or rather new. That's kind of what you're seeing in this area. So the takeaways, most of them are either, like I just said, very older or more newer and recent developments. A lot of condos, especially like in the lower price points. The lot sizes, most of them are smaller, and if it's a larger lot, it's typically a property that you buy to tear down or maybe build something instead. Most of the bedrooms are 2 to 3 bedrooms, smaller properties, generally speaking. So that pretty much sums up this presentation. I'm going to go into the tool and show you the actual raw data and run whatever interesting topic that you want me to run there. And I want to mention that this is also the end of the month. So starting next with the next live stream, we're going to go back to the north suburbs and see what happened in May. So if this is interesting to you, tune in, come to the live streams, check it out. And if the live stream times don't really work for you, let me know what other times would work better for you. And then let's go towards the spreadsheet and see if we have any questions from any of the participants. So one moment here, go to the filtered. Okay, is a condo as good as a regular residential property from an investment perspective? It's a fair question. So a condominium can still be an investment property, but you do need to look into the CC and R. You want to see that the condo regime is going to allow you to rent your place. Most of them will. Some of them won't. You want to know about it. The other thing you want to check out and factor in is the HOA. Some of these HOAs are really, really expensive. And maybe the property looks cheap and you're like, oh, I can buy something for $350 or $400 and rent it. And the rental amount seems rather large compared to the price. Amazing. But then you factor in the taxes, you factor in the HOAs, and you see that your cash flow just being reduced like significantly. So you want to factor in all of these items. Last but not least, if you are planning to B&B your property, make sure that the condo association that you're going to go into will allow you to do that. Some of them are not allowing for B&Bs, and especially in this area that is rather hot. If you are planning to do a B&B, just make sure to do your due diligence. Don't buy a property and later be like, oh, shoot, I can't really do the thing I was planning to do with it. So I hope that this helps. And if we are looking at these properties here, so if I'm looking at all the single family residences, I'm going to the graph here. So now I'm not looking at condos at all. And I'm seeing that the average price per square feet, oh, it's larger. I remember the other one. The other one was about like 500. So check this out. The price per square feet when we look at single family homes, $700 around November. Let's take a larger time frame. I'm kind of interested to see what is in the last year. So it is updating and oh, so much faster. So for those of you that have been with me for a while, you know how painfully it was before. So we can see that around May, properties sold for $920 per square feet. And then at the bottom of the market around January, no, you know what? In April, we're seeing that in the single family home, this is actually the bottom of the market right now. So right now it's even cheaper than January. This is the first time from all the areas that we're seeing something like it. So in the other areas in Austin, we had seen that the prices are actually going up. But in this area, we've seen an upward trend just in February, but then we do see that it's dwindling down around the January times. And if I'm looking at 624 compared to 921, wow, this is a big reduction. So 33% reduction from peak value in May for single family homes in the South Central area. So if you're shopping for a property, maybe you want to wait and see if it's going to reduce a bit more. Maybe you should consider that this is kind of a good opportunity. Depends on you. Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's a good time to buy in the South Central area, or do you think that it will, continue to decrease? My opinion is, given the other areas of Austin, and check out my live stream and see the other areas, and given the trends in literally all of the other areas, I can't see the South Central area performing very differently than all of them. So if all of them are trending upwards or being rather stable, it doesn't make sense to me that this will continue to go down, but maybe I am too optimistic. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? I am surprised by this, because you're seeing that even like in October or November, when the interest rates were really bad already, the prices were more expensive. So this is for the single family. Let's take a look at the condos. What happened to the condominiums? Another thing I would like to see is like the years built for the single family homes. But one moment, if I'm going back here. So for condos, we are seeing peak bottom at March. So again, condos behave similar to SFRs in the South Central area, and the bottom 436 compared to 581, 25% less. So the condos sustained less of a damage in percentages uh, comparing to peak market. Interesting. This thing here is so weird for me. Like, what happened? Did we have way more? No, look at the 17 transactions, but we had a peak here for some reason towards the end of the year. So this is very, very weird. We're seeing like this trend and then this anomaly here, prices that are very similar to June. I would like to look at this and kind of understand what's going on here. I find it okay. And then if I'm looking here, I'm looking at the days on the market. So you want to, it is super hot in May and June, 5 or 4 days on the market. But whoa, hey, check this out. The condos are hotter right now. 14 days on market in March, 10 days in April. So condos are being sold a bit quicker. Let's take a quick look again and look at the single family homes. I don't know if it's just me, but I find this area very interesting. 273. Yeah. So the single family homes here are staying way longer on the market compared to condos right now. So they're staying like 56 or 48 days on the market compared to the condos. Let's take a look at the year built for these properties. Are these properties like super old in nature, or the newer? So I'm adding the like other metrics. I'm going to my dashboard. Year built, and it's completely broken for some reason. Dang it, I am not sure what happened here, so I will just look at the raw data here. Template graph, play with it. Let's take a look. Setup, close. Let's take the year built. Median year built, is it? Well, so median year built, it's not really the metric I would like to show here. But if I'm looking at this, maybe not as a median, but no, none of this would make sense for me. Count. No, not good enough. So median year built 1978 for April, 2009, 1962. So most of them are older. And if I'm looking at them divided, and I'm sorry I don't have the nicer graph, but just for me, because I am curious about it, year built, here it is. So year built, newer 7, older 15. Yeah, most of them are oh no, you know what, half and half. 15 past the 2000 mark, 15 before the 1978. So half and half. This is very, very interesting. It's a very interesting market, at least to me. Any questions about the South Central area? Any questions about any other area, by the way? If you're in the live stream and you want to know anything about another area that you find interesting, just let me know and I'll do that with pleasure. Of clutter. One more thing I'll try to show you, because I find it kind of hilarious, but let's see if they're active here. What happens with Open Door? What happens with Zillow? All of these agencies that are sometimes active. No, almost no properties. So yeah, 4 deals, it's nothing. It's not going to be fun looking only at 4 deals. All right. No further questions. For those of you who tuned in, thank you so much. If you find this helpful, let me know. And if you would like to see other types of data and metrics shown to you, let me know as well. Tune into the live streams for more information about Austin. I'm covering every time a different area, trying to give you all the raw data and just present it to you and let you understand what's going on in the market. If you are moving to Austin, if you're considering to invest in Austin, My contact information is displayed on the screen. You are more than welcome to reach out, and I will try to help you optimize your situation to the best of my ability. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.